All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone who's tuned into the live stream this evening. We've got a bit of a traffic jam around our head office, so we've got a couple of late people arriving, but I don't think it'll disturb us. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint, and I'm going to be spending probably the next hour talking about the DuePoint opportunity. And we have a very exciting showcase this evening. This is something that we do once a month only. And it's exciting because we bring up some of our successful wealth engineers to share their stories with the audience, with our guests. And they aren't actors. They're real wealth engineers that have put in a lot of hard work, and they've shown success for it. So we call this evening Tell All Tuesday, where you get to hear directly from the wealth engineers that in the past have decided to engage with this platform called DuePoint. So, shall we begin? Yes. Okay. So DuePoint is actually a division of another business. We're a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. That's their logo in the bottom right corner, the little orange one. Their office is in the background. They're actually based just down the road from us in Randburg. They are a registered insurance company, one of the very few in South Africa. We make the mistake thinking that every financial service provider that offers insurance is an insurance company. That's not true. There are only a few insurance companies in South Africa, registered insurance companies. Constantia is one of them. They were founded in 1952, so they've been around a lot longer than I've been alive, and they've been successful over almost the last 70 years. They played a fairly large role in forming the insurance industry to what we know it is today. So you will notice in the foyer we have all our FSP licenses on display for everybody as per FSP regulation. That's the FSP number that we operate under. You'll notice above the water cooler that the licenses are on display. We've got a short-term insurance license, we've got a long-term insurance license, we have an investment license, our FSP license, as well as being members of the DSA and the DMA, the Direct Marketing Association, as well as the Direct Selling Association. So it's very important for our guests at this point of the presentation to feel a little more at ease with the business that we're going to be talking about. I really want you guys to trust the business that you're potentially going to be getting into business with. So this is a fairly important point. You are free to go do background checks on Constantia. We're part of another business called Conduit Capital, which is listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange, and we have very reputable individuals that are running this business. And on that note, this is the executive and management team here at DuePoint. The three individuals on the far left are all registered chartered accountants in South Africa. There's Brendan, our senior executive, who you'll see walking around this evening, telling everyone to move up in their seats. That's his favorite job at presentation time. We are very lucky to have him heading up DuePoint because he's got so much experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because he pretty much grew up surrounded by insurance. His father is a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. His father founded Clientele Life and founded the IFA, amongst a whole host of other businesses around the globe. And Brendan and his brother Stuart went on to found Prime Meridian Direct, PMD, which is based down the road from us, a very successful short-term insurer. And you'll see their branding and advertising all over Johannesburg and on television. So we're very lucky having an individual like this leading the business. Then we've got Tim Reynolds, who this evening is sitting on the live stream, making sure that we broadcast out to the rest of South Africa. Very lucky to have him on board because he was working directly beneath the CEO of the First Rand Group. And that sounds like a very cushy job. Why anyone would move away from that, I'm not sure. But we were very lucky to get Tim to join us here on the DuePoint team. And then our third chartered accountant, who's the best looking accountant, only because she's the youngest, is Stacey. And Stacey was working at Deloitte in Luxembourg in Europe for a little while before she came back to South Africa. And we were also able to convince her to come join us on the DuePoint team. And then we've got the two non-accountants. Why is people laughing? Right? Laughing at the non-accountants. We are the personality of DuePoint, right? The accountants, they don't come with the personality. We're working on them. And you can see they're not talking to us. Can you see in the photo? They're not talking to us. Jane and I are on our own. But we're the non-accountants. Jane has got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling, about 20 years worth. And she comes from York in England. She's been in South Africa for about 10 years. And she's fundamental to this business because of the marketing aspect of this business, which is network marketing. And then myself, the tallest, second best looking in DuePoint. Some people are looking at me funny. I come to you from a marketing and advertising background. So I started in marketing and advertising pretty much straight out of school. I then tried to do a stint at Wits where I studied engineering. That didn't last long. I got back into marketing and advertising, worked a little bit in the industry, then started my own digital agency. When the internet went through its boom, remember that in the late 90s? We all had little modems that used to make a lot of noise if we wanted to get onto the internet. That's when I started a digital agency, and I ran that for about 17, 18 years. Fairly successfully, operated heavily within the financial services sector. We worked on all the big banks, Investec, F&B, ABSA, Standard Bank, amongst a whole host of other service-based businesses. And I decided to get out of that business and join DuePoint. So Brendan was instrumental in building this team and very successful at it because this was his A team. There was no B team. He didn't get declined by anyone he wanted on this team. Our mandate here at DuePoint is to support our wealth engineers. Because for DuePoint to be successful, our wealth engineers have to be successful. We cannot achieve success any other way except by seeing our wealth engineers become effective and successful in this business. So we share a common interest, a common goal. And that's very important when you decide to pick any business partner, right? You need to have that common interest, that you need to collaborate towards this common goal. Okay. So, our guests, why have you been brought here? How many guests do we have in the room this evening? Put your hands up quickly. No one in the front. Okay, there we go. Don't be shy, don't be shy. I'm not going to ask you any questions. But welcome to our guests. I always say there have to be more guests than wealth engineers, otherwise the wealth engineers are doing a bad job. But what is the premise of you being here? What were you told? I would assume you were told, or something alluded to the fact that there's financial opportunity in this presentation that you've been brought to. And that's certainly true. At this point of the presentation, what I like to do is scare our guests. Not really, not scare. What I like to do is give you a reality check. Because often going through life, and regardless of whether you're straight out of school in your early 20s, or whether you are late 50s, or even over 60 years of age, but this reality check is sometimes very useful because if you're someone like me, you go through life not really understanding the impact of certain financial aspects in one's life. And it starts to become a little more apparent the older you get. And that's usually associated with a feeling of panic, especially when you get to your 40s and you realize you haven't done that much in the last 20 years and you've only got 20 years left until you have to retire. Right? So the two aspects we discussed at this part of the presentation is the economy and debt. Okay, so the one thing, economy, I'm not going to spend a long time on that. We all endure South Africa's economy on a daily basis, right? The economy grew at 0.3% last year, which is pretty much no growth at all. And I heard an economist come on the radio last week saying that they expect less growth in 2017. So if you didn't like 2016, you better hold on, because 2017 is not going to be that much better. And we see the effect of our poor economy, and it's not just South Africa's economy, it's a global issue. We see the effect of it in our daily lives. We see people getting retrenched as an effect of companies having to restructure and trying to survive. And I experienced that firsthand at home because my wife deals with retrenchments on a daily basis. What a depressing job, right? Having to deal with retrenchments every day, because she is a labor lawyer. She specializes in labor litigation. So we know South Africa is heavily regulated from a labor point of view, and she works for a huge company, one of the biggest private companies in South Africa. She's got 160,000 staff that she oversees. My business, we only had 10 staff, and I thought that was enough. She's got to oversee 160,000, and she sees people getting retrenched. And we always think, when these big companies retrench, it's always the person at the bottom, right? The person earning the least that's getting affected and being retrenched. But let me tell you, everyone in that organization gets retrenched. I'm talking about people that are earning the least to people that are earning the most. So she'll often get briefs coming across her desk where she has to retrench doctors, geologists, lawyers, accountants. So I ask you, if those people aren't at risk or are at risk of being retrenched, can we feel safe, regardless of our circumstances, in the current economy? You cannot. You cannot. If you do, someone's pulled the wool over your eyes, right? A false sense of security, perhaps because you haven't been retrenched yet, or perhaps the economy hasn't affected you yet, but it affects everybody. So you can imagine these individuals that are working for her. These are colleagues of hers that work with her at head office in town. They probably did fairly well at school, right? They got fairly good marks in matric. They got accepted into university, and they probably did 1 or 2 professional degrees at university. And then they went on to join one of the most successful businesses globally that's been around for more than 100 years, only to be retrenched. So if they're not safe, who is safe? No one. The other aspect we discussed is that 4-letter word on the screen, debt. Appropriately a 4-letter word. And I like to tease everyone because I know everyone in the audience loves debt. We love it because we have so much of it. And when the bank offers us more, we say yes. Right? And we're not forced to take on debt. Debt is typically afforded to us the moment we start earning a salary. Right? Someone will only give you debt when they know that you're earning something. And that salary that was typically put into a bank account kind of flags you as a potential customer. And financial institutions will typically offer you a whole bunch of services and products that are debt instruments as well as savings and investment products. And we get a lot of statistics from the FSB that paints a dismal picture of South Africa's debt crisis. And I call it a crisis because of everyone that has debt, which is pretty much the entire working population of South Africa. It's not many people that don't have debt in their lives. 50% of those individuals are under debt review. That's the bank chasing people because they haven't made their monthly debit orders, right? People that owe money to the bank that aren't able to maintain their debt repayments. And South Africans engage in a number of debt instruments. Credit cards. How many slots do you have on your wallet? 3, 4, 6? It's 1 for each credit card, right? 1 for each credit card. So we spend a lot of money that we don't have on credit cards. Cars, there are about 10 million cars on the road in South Africa, of which only about 35% are insured. So you don't want to have an accident, especially if the car doesn't belong to you. If you're still paying back the bank for your car, hopefully you're insured. Another one is home loans. So typical home loan terms are 20 years, right? You go out and you buy a house, there's not many people that buy houses cash. You will go to the bank and ask for a loan. And they'll offer you the 20-year loan. You can take less. You can take a much smaller term. But South Africans, we typically go for the biggest house. We go, well, I'm getting paid this much salary. What's the biggest house I can afford for the salary that I get? We all do that. All of us. And then when the economy starts to squeeze us, debt becomes more expensive to maintain, someone in the family gets retrenched, all of a sudden, you are squeezed to the point where you cannot make the debt payments. And we start compromising on a host of things. We compromise on insurance. We compromise on investments. Perhaps you can't send the kids to the school that you want to. The most problematic aspect is retirement planning. So here's some data that Tim was kind enough to send me at the end of last year. This was posted on the Fin24 website in September last year. And this gives us a reality check of what retirement planning should look like for us. So if you're a very responsible character, like those 3 accountants that we met on slide 2, you will start saving for retirement when you're 6 years of age. Right? That's what accountants do. They start saving very early. But if you're like me, you go through your 20s not even thinking about it. I'm still young. So take a look at the figures at the top there. We've got 5,000 Rand, we've got 26,000 Rand, and we've got 52,000 Rand. How much money do you need to retire with? So when you retire, when the company says, thank you for your service, cheers. We don't have to pay you a salary anymore. you need to have certain savings and investments in place to support you from when you're retired. So if you want to live on 5,000 Rand a month, if you're able to live on 5,000 Rand a month, you should have saved, by the time you retire, 1 million Rand. So at the age of 60, 1 million Rand in cash needs to be invested and saved, just to give you 5,000 Rand for the next 30 years. Who lives on 5,000 Rand, right? So 26,000 Rand sounds a lot better. You've just been slaving for 40, 45 years. At least be in a position where you can enjoy your retirement. But even at that stage, 26,000 Rand, if you're in your 20s to 25, you can start doing this. You can start saving towards that 5 million Rand. It means that you need to save 4,000 Rand per month for the next 40 years. I always get laughs at this point of the presentation. Do you know that only 2% of our population gets to retirement financially independent? 2%. That's 2 people in this room. 2 people in this room. The rest of us get to retirement financially dependent. Dependent on who? What do you do when you get to retirement and you don't have money? You've got to keep working. You've got to maybe ask your kids to help you out. You perhaps have to downgrade your lifestyle to such an extent that you can afford to get by every month. I don't propose this as a solution. I think there's a reason why only 2% of the population get to retirement financially independent. I don't think it's because they save responsibly from the age of 20. I think that's just the people that are really rich, right? Born into wealth, perhaps, a couple that have made it. But this is not a realistic solution. At DuePoint, we saw this need, this requirement for South Africans to start empowering themselves. The problem is exacerbated when us, South Africans, rely on our employers to get us to retirement. And we know it doesn't happen. Do you know when the average South African starts saving for retirement, if ever? The average South African starts saving towards retirement when they're in their 50s. And this data says you need to start saving for how many years? 40. When you're out the womb, you need to start thinking about retirement planning. Do they teach retirement planning at school? You never hear a whisper about it. Unbelievable. You're supposed to figure it out yourself. People only start saving in their 50s because they've only finished paying off their debt when they're in their 50s. If you have a 20-year bond and you buy that house when you're in your 30s, you only finish paying that bond off when you're in your 50s. When you're in your 50s, it's the first time you've got the kids out the house, hopefully through university, and they're no longer a burden to you because hopefully they have their own jobs. And now for the first time, do you have leftover money at the end of the month? In your 50s. Too late. So we saw the need, the requirement. The DuePoint system was born 18 months ago. We saw that there was this opportunity to give South Africans a platform to start taking control over their financial futures. That's us. The DuePoint system has 3 aspirations. Our first aspiration is to see our wealth engineers become debt-free. Debt-free. Can you even imagine that? No debit orders going off your account. The house is paid for. The cars are paid for. You pay a year up front for your kids' education. You take the holidays you want. I don't think people can even connect with that reality. Hey? Think about it. Can you see yourself in that position? Or are you hoping to get there when you're 50-something? Our second aspiration is to see you start investing your time and effort and money into something that grows every month, something that you can look forward to, something that you can work on actively towards your retirement, towards your financial freedom. And our third aspiration is to see our wealth engineers smile at the end of the month. How many of us are grumpy at the end of the month? Right? 98% of South Africa. Grumpy at the end of the month. We want to see you smile. Because if we can see you become debt-free and you're creating value and investment that grows every single month, I promise you at the end of the month you're going to be smiling while everyone else is frowning. We want to see you connect with your dreams and aspirations again. As fluffy as that might sound. But it would be true, right? You think about being completely debt-free. How does the system work? Our guests here this evening, you have the opportunity of joining us at DuePoint. You will contract with us. And when you contract with us, we call you wealth engineers. Very appropriate title. And as wealth engineers, we want you to do only one thing, and that is to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. Okay? Into these channels of distribution, through our online portal, we will facilitate the placement of our financial products. And that is how the system works, in a nutshell. The benefits thereof are the ability for you to create an additional income stream. This is the only way you are going to become debt-free any sooner than you're currently doing at the moment. The system is not designed to replace your salary or your day job. It is there to create an additional income stream so you can pay off debt faster. The nature of our business allows you to create recurring income. This is the reason I left my business. In my business, we didn't create any recurring income. We sold time. Had designers working for us, programmers working for us, account managers. Every month we would go out and hunt a certain amount of business. Then we'd have to do the business, right? The designing, the programming, the building. And then we'd have to bill it by the end of the month. And at the end of the month, we'd start at zero again. And we'd have to do it all again. If I took 3 weeks leave, that was 3 weeks I couldn't bill. If anyone took leave in my company, that was turnover that I lost. If we all went on holiday, there would be no billing. And every month started at zero. This business allows you to create residual value in something that potentially grows every month. You can finally be in a position one day where you can take the whole month off and you'll still get paid. The effort you put into this business doesn't pay you only at the end of month 1, but potentially pays you at the end of month 2, month 3, month 4. It's the beauty of insurance businesses. You get to use power of duplication. Power of duplication is leverage. How do CEOs pay themselves such big salaries, such big bonuses? What did the CEO of Checkers take home as bonus last year? It was in the newspapers. Everyone was shocked. Was it 30 million, 70 million, something like that? He does it because he's able to leverage all the staff that works for him in a successful business. You get to do something similar. Those channels of distribution we talk about are you building a team that you get to collaborate with. So if you only have 1 hour a day for this business and you've got 10 individuals collaborating with you in your channel that are putting in an hour each, that's 11 hours a day that you're applying into this business for your own financial benefit. Okay? You're completely independent regarding your time. Accountable to yourself. You need to decide how much time you can spend in this business. If you don't do it, you don't get a written warning from me. If you go to work late tomorrow, the boss might raise an eyebrow. Do it again on Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, maybe you get a written warning. By the end of the month, maybe you're fired. Well, disciplinary process, then fired. Right? In this business, you're completely accountable to yourselves. If you don't do anything, I promise you, you don't get a written warning from me, you won't even get a phone call. So for the first time, you actually need to take that responsibility. We are always under pressure to perform at work, but in this business, you have to create the pressure for yourself. Okay? There's no startup capital in this business. I'm not going to ask you to buy all this product to get started. There's no registration fees. It's a very low-risk endeavor that we're talking about. There's no qualifications or experience required to get involved in this business. We are regulated by the FSB as a business. When the FASE Act came out in 2003, it put about 70,000 financial advisors out of business because they couldn't keep up with all the new regulation that government was placing on them. You don't have to worry about any of that in this business, right? That's a plus. You get to build an asset. If I'm going to ask you to get involved in a business where I'm asking you to commit your time to, at least have some form of ownership over this business you're getting involved in. But what do? We spend 40, 45 years working for somebody else. where there's no guarantee of our future, or even keeping our jobs, or getting a raise, or a possible promotion. There isn't. In this business, you get to build an asset that you have ownership over. You can put it in a family trust. You can sell it one day. If something happens to you, you can cede it to your beneficiaries. You can give it to your children if something had to happen to you or you got too old to do the business anymore. That's probably at about 90, 95. Okay? And there's no selling involved. You are completely separated from the selling process. Are you not excited about that? Our guests here this evening, you thought you were going to be selling something. Be honest. Huh? How many people thought, what are they going to ask me to sell today? There's no selling involved, guys, whatsoever. This is probably one of the greatest benefits of this business, especially with regards to a financial services company. The nature of our products are intangible financial products. Why is that a benefit? Because behind our counter, we don't have tons and tons of product that we expect you to buy and then go out and sell. Who arrived in their buckies hoping to buy a lot of stock tonight? Anyone? No. Can you imagine if you start doing really well in this business and then you've got to buy even more stock to keep up with the success you're having in the business? Do you think that stock would expire? All stock expires. I saw a hilarious little salt shaker. No little salt shaker. It said 250 million year old salt from some salt pan somewhere in North Africa, right? And then at the bottom in small print, expires in 3 months. You don't have to worry about that. We don't have product that expires. Our systems take care of all the product collections, all of that, right? Again, benefit for you. We try and make this business as simple and as convenient as possible for you guys to get involved with. What are these channels of distribution? They begin with you. And this is the only thing you guys need to be doing, is going out and telling people about the DuePoint business opportunity. Because people want to do the same thing as you. We are not alone in looking for financial opportunity. We all exist in the same economy. We're all working day jobs with the same risk attached to it. So if you go out and you tell people about the business, the likelihood is they're going to be interested, right? And if we're able to place a product with them through our online portal, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution. And those people are going to go out. And your friends and your friends and your friends of friends will go out and do the same thing. And you potentially have this organic growth that takes place in your channel. So after a certain amount of time, this is what your channel could look like. Each dot represents a person with a product. And next week, another few dots will appear. And the week after that, more dots. Without any selling required from our wealth engineers. So it's fairly straightforward. But I need to warn you. You might be thinking, sure, I know 1,000 people on Facebook. I'm going to be a millionaire in this business. I'm going to post the whole of Facebook. This business does not work like that. This is a person-to-person business. This was an authentic business opportunity. If you've ever had the pleasure of trying to start your own business, you will realize that it is very difficult. They reckon only about 5% of businesses survive, not successful, survive the first year. If you want to be successful at anything, it takes effort and time. There's frustration attached to all of it, right? But unfortunately in South Africa, with so many of these get-rich-quick schemes that are floating around, hundreds of them, people losing money, people being told, put money in here, you're going to make 50% return in 2 weeks. There is no such thing as quick or easy money. There's no such thing. Even lotto winners. I've done a study on lotto winners. Do you know that they lose all their money in a short space of time? Short space of time, because they haven't earned that money. It's the same in business. You need to earn your success. So I don't want you getting involved in this business thinking that you're going to be rich in the next month or the next 3 months or 6 months. This business is going to take time to nurture. Brendan calls it a little baby. You need to nurture the baby, give it time to grow. Maybe after 5 years, you'll have a toddler that can get up to his own business in the morning and let you sleep in. Right? So this is my disclaimer slide. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is an authentic business opportunity to get into contract with a company that is nearly 70 years old, with very reputable individuals driving this business. It takes that effort to be successful. Let's talk about the money. How do you earn at DuePoint? We pay our wealth engineers what we call a return. So for every product that ends up in your channel, we pay our wealth engineers a base return fee of 27 Rand 50, right? On point 1, which is the people that you introduced personally, these people lie on point 1, they're 1 point away from you, we pay you double the 27 Rand 50. So we actually pay you 55 Rand for every product. But remember, it's recurring income. It's not once-off income. So you get 55 Rand for every product every month going forward. Your friends go introduce other people or colleagues, strangers, acquaintances. These people lie on your second point. On your second point, again, we pay you 55 Rand for every product every single month. To your third point, to your fourth point, all the way down to your 8th point. At the 8th point, the multiplier drops to 4%. So on your 8th point, we're paying you 1 Rand 10 for every product. But we don't limit you there. What's important to note is that you can build your channel as big as you want to. We don't limit you on the size of your channel. We don't limit you on how much you can earn at DuePoint. Are you going to be here for the next 3 months? Or are you going to be here for the next 10, 20 years? How big will your channel get after 20 years? So this is fairly straightforward. This is the mechanics of our returns. So what we did, those exciting accountants on slide 3, they went away and they built what we call the path to success. And this is based on a growth model called 3+2. Because people said to us, well, how much can I earn after a certain amount of time? I know I'm getting paid 55 Rand for every product on my first point, but how much in 3 months or 6 months? So they went away and they built a growth model. The growth model assumes that you can add 3 people into your channel in the first month, right? So in the middle of March, you bring in 3 people in March. Every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2 new people. That's only 1 every 2 weeks. And we take into consideration the people that cancel, the people that don't have money in their accounts, the people that don't build. But if you can duplicate that growth into your channel, you can expect to earn these numbers. So after 6 months, 2,500 Rand a month. Lots, too little for 6 months' work. People are still trying to work it out. 6 months, is it worth my time? But let me give you a little bit of context. Because 2,500 Rand in the greater scheme of things doesn't sound like that much. But I imagine if you're squeezed every month, an extra 2,500 Rand makes a big difference. But let me give you some more longer-term context. Because we are trying to get rid of our debt, right? Let me show you what debt is doing to you. So here's an example of an individual that has got a R1 million bond with the bank. They've agreed to pay that R1 million back over a period of 20 years. Normal bond, right? We'll accept that. They're going to be paying the bank back probably 11,000, 12,000 Rand a month on a R1 million bond over 20 years. If you join DuePoint and you get to the point where you're earning 2,500 Rand a month, and instead of spending that money on fancy shoes and handbags and nice lunches, you put the money into your debt. Remember, our first aspiration for our wealth engineers, become debt-free. You take the 2,500 Rand, you put it into your bond. That little 2,500 Rand will reduce your 20-year term down to less than 12 years. Less than 12 years. Do you know how much money you've saved in that process? Any guesses from the guests? You're going to save yourself R1 million in repayments. How do you save yourself R1 million in repayments on a R1 million house with just 2,500 Rand? That's what compound interest does to you when you owe money. Debt is crippling. Do not be the person that takes the bond out at 30 and pays the bond off when they're in their 50s. This allows you to do it in nearly half the time. That's only 6 months away. Little 2,500 rand. So hopefully you don't stop there, because after 12 months you could be earning nearly 10,000 rand. That's over 100,000 rand annually. Anyone get a 100,000 rand bonus from their employers in the last year? Eh? No one. I always tease everyone and say you need to work harder to get that 100,000 rand bonus. You keep going. After 24 months, you could be on nearly 30,000 rand a month. Have you noticed that the income goes up every month? Have you tried asking your boss for a raise once a month? Right? That'll drive him crazy. If you walked into his office every month, please can I have a raise? And even when he gave you one, you come in the next month again, say, please can I have a raise again? We laugh at it, right? Because it's laughable. We never expect something like that from our employers. You keep going. After 3 years, 36 months, you're nearly 50,000 rand a month. You want to look at the bond example again? Here's an example of a 5 million rand bond, right? In 3 years, you perhaps a high flyer. You go look for a 5 million rand house, you buy the bank, tell them you'll pay them back over 20 years. You take the money that you're earning after month 30, which is probably 37,000 rand, put it into your debt. You'll pay that 5 million rand bond off in less than 7 years. That'll be nice. You're my age, 40. 21 years' time, I'm 61. Then I'll tell Brendan I'm tired of intro presentations. I'm taking my retirement early, 4 years early. But if I do this exercise, I can do it 3 times. In 21 years, I can do this exercise 3 times over. When I get to retirement, I live in one house, I rent out the other 2. How much passive income do you get from renting out houses which are valued at 10 million rand? Or do you think I should sell all 3 houses and move into a 15 million rand beach house? Huh? Which one? The former. The former, right? Passive income, 50, 60, 70,000 rand a month, plus whatever I'm getting from DuePoint. Do you think I'm going to be stressing about my retirement if I'm in that position? Guys, we have to start making the decision now. The decision doesn't automatically happen in time. It starts 20 years back. 20 years before, we need to start doing things for our retirement. You keep going, 48 months, nearly 70,000 rand a month, and after 60 months, which is 5 years for the accountants, we're on nearly 100,000 rand a month. You're talking about 1 million rand annually that you're producing for yourself, over and above your employment income. At what stage of this process do you decide to tell your boss you're going? Because you'll start getting itchy somewhere along the way, right? Guys, this is what empowerment is all about. Starting to do something for yourself, for your own future. Not relying on your boss to make it happen for you. He's there to make the business thrive and survive. Whether you're in it or not, depends on the economy, depends on the success of his business. This is you taking accountability for your future. And we have to do it. We have to do it. So you might be thinking, well, this is great in theory, because this is all theory, by the way. This was based on 3 plus 2, remember? Only 2 people every additional month. You can do less than 3 plus 2. You can become a wealth engineer this evening and watch Generations every evening. Drink tea and coffee during your lunch breaks. Sit back on the weekends. Then you'll be doing 0 plus 0. And how much will you earn? 0, exactly. But you can also do more than 3 plus 2. And we've got wealth engineers that are doing more than 3 plus 2. So on that note, I'd like to ask Sean to come up. There you go, sir. Hold that microphone nice and close. Sean, let's look at your numbers. 13th of October, Sean joined us last year. So he's been with us for about 5-6 months now. So we are going to be collecting over 13,000 Rand in debit orders in Sean's channel this month. Sean, do you want to share with us your experience of DuePoint? I know you've got a lot to tell everybody, so I'm going to leave it up to you. Hold that as close as you can. There you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean. I joined this business October. But when I joined this business, ladies and gentlemen, I had a problem with my car. My car was broken, and that was my challenge. After the presentation, I asked myself 2 questions. Sean, are you gonna do this business opportunity without a car? That means I have to use public transport. The other question was, are you gonna wait for your car to be fixed so that you can start to do this business opportunity? Ladies and gentlemen, I started to look at the disadvantages and the advantages of these 2 questions. Sean, if ever you are saying you're going to start to do this business without a car, what are you going to say to people? Because sometimes people, they undermine you. You will tell people about the business opportunity, you don't have a car, they will start to undermine you. Then, if ever I start this business, if ever I'm saying to myself, I'm going to wait for my car to be okay so that I can start this business opportunity. Sean, you don't have a guarantee. Maybe you can start to fix your car in 1 year. That means you will start to earn 1 year. That means the problems, the financial problems that we are having now, will still gonna continue for 1 year. Then, after that, ladies and gentlemen, I said to myself, no, Sean, you must be smart. You must start to be positive now. Don't look at the circumstances. Don't look at the problems that we are facing. You must focus on the ball. I took a decision that day. I said, no, I'm going to start to do this business. Ladies and gentlemen, I started to tell people about DuePoint. Surprisingly, not even a single person who said to me, I don't want that. Everyone, when you tell people about DuePoint, the first question you will get, what is that? You will find that when you do other businesses, when you start to tell people, they will say, what is that? And but with DuePoint, ladies and gentlemen, it is totally different. It is totally different. People are curious, what is that business opportunity? Guys, I'm staying in Albertine. I took taxis from Albertine to Johannesburg to Bryanston. Sometime 8 o'clock afternoon, I take taxis to Bryanston, to Albertine, and then I arrive at home to 11 o'clock. But all I can say, guys, look at the numbers today. So what I'm trying to show you today, ladies and gentlemen, is life is all about choices. Today, you are the person you are because of the decisions and the choices you made yesterday. Tomorrow, you will be a better person because of the decision and the choices you will make today. Yes.
Awesome. I don't think I could have put it better. Sean has spoken about accountability to yourselves, making the decision for yourselves. No one else is going to make that decision for you. To say, yes, this is what I want, and then doing something about it, right? The sacrifice. Not doing something that's easy, that fits in with your routine in the day, that's convenient. He talks about the sacrifice. Getting home at 11 o'clock. Sean is here every evening. We only found out today that he only gets home at 11 o'clock at night. But it's commendable. It's commendable. When have you ever spoken to someone who's successful that doesn't have a story about hardship? He's standing in front of you. And he has the result to show it. Sean, tell us why you're going to continue in this business. Talk to us about your aspirations, because this is only the beginning.
My aspirations and my goals, ladies and gentlemen, to this business opportunity. First, I want to be on rank 9. Rank 9 is whereby each and every year you go with your family overseas to the incentive conference. That will bring lifestyle to my family. Yes. Then, my long-term goal, guys, is to see myself earning 6 digits, more than 100,000 rands in this business opportunity. I've seen some people saying, I'm a networker. You'll find that this person is doing this business, is doing this network. Guys, I'm saying to you today, commit to this business opportunity. If they can say to me tomorrow and say, Sean, this one is better than DuePoint, is paying more than DuePoint, I've made a decision that I will commit to this business opportunity until it gives me that more than 100,000 rands. That's my goal.
Awesome. Sean, a message for your channel?
Guys, Gauteng team, thank you very much. Gauteng team, thank you very much. If it was not because of your hard work, guys, I would not be here today. Thank you very much for your hard work. Special thanks to Mpumalanga team. Guys, you don't have the comfort we are having here at GP, but your hard work, it plays a much important role. Then to Free State team, Gilishebile Bahayesu, then to Eastern Cape team, guys, nangu mthombo wemali. Then thank you very much.
Sean, thank you so much, man. Thank you. That was great. Sean touched on so many important aspects in this business. You heard him talk about the teams that he's developing outside of Gauteng. That is all done through the technology that we give our wealth engineers. We are streaming to the entire country right now. You could be sitting in your living room with guests in a different province. It doesn't restrict you whatsoever. So Sean, well done on the commitment. We look forward to seeing your success here at DuePoint. Okay. So we spoke about our returns here at DuePoint. That's what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month. Over and above that, we have a rewards program. It's called the XP Rewards Program. And this is something where you can get benefit out of the business over and above what you are earning every month. So these little items floating past are examples of typical wealth engineer behavior. And they start with very simple things. Logging into the website, we give you 25 XP. Coming to a presentation like this, we give you 250 XP. If you bring a guest with you, you get 100 XP. And when you start collecting all this XP and you start having success in your business, which is obviously adding products to your channel, you start to rank up. So if you become a wealth engineer this evening, you will be a rank 0 wealth engineer because you've done 0 plus 0 so far. Right? But within 24 hours, you can get to rank 1. What does rank 1 look like? Well, you need to have 1,000 XP, and you need to have 4 products in your qualified channel. And then suddenly you become rank 1. We'll be paying you 220 Rand at the end of the month, remember, because it's 4 products times 55 Rand each. But on the XP Rewards program, when you get to rank 1, we'll give you a 55 Rand bonus. And then when you get to rank 2, we'll give you a 100 Rand bonus on top of your returns. And you can see the figures start getting bigger. 400 Rand, 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand. We give away tools that make it easier for you to be effective at this business. So here's Patrick and Pumi with their Lightning USB stick. It's a wonderful little device that plugs into anything. Your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer. More importantly, we put all our video collateral onto that little USB stick. Our intro presentations, our interviews, our testimonies, all the training goes onto that little stick so that they can show people the DuePoint business regardless of where they are, what time it is, and who they're speaking to. Donnie at rank 7 with his luxury business cards. We pay 12,500 Rand to have these cards manufactured. People haven't heard of DuePoint. When you say DuePoint to them, it doesn't mean much to them. They might think that it's another get-rich-quick scheme. But when you place a 2,500 Rand business card in their hands, I promise you they will ask again, what is DuePoint? What do you do for them again? This is a tool that makes you stand out from the crowd. And this is what this business is. At rank 9, this is the one everyone speaks about, everyone gets excited about. This is the only reward that's not a once-off. When you get to rank 9, you will enjoy this reward with your family every single year going forward. Every single year. Business class flights to our international conference. A 5-star luxury resort. 7 days, all expenses paid trip. Every single year going forward. You don't have to have a family meeting to see what's in your bank account before you go on holiday. You don't have to worry about the exchange rate. And this is what you could enjoy. This is where we have wealth engineers going at the end of this year. Take a close look.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Are you and will you? Like I said, everyone gets very excited about rank 9. Very excited about rank 9. You can see why. But I remind everyone, you need to get to rank 1 first. Right? There's no point in getting excited about rank 9 if you're not prepared to put in the time and the effort to get to rank 1. That's where it all begins. We are very serious about seeing our wealth engineers become debt-free. Rank 11, we buy a car cash and we give it to you. Give it to you. Not for 6 months, not for 12 months. The car is yours. No DuePoint stickers on the brand on the sides. Brendan will drive you around for 1 week to work and back. Chauffeur. Only joking. Which car is it going to be? Everyone wants the Mini. Everyone wants the Mini. Guys, this is only rank 11. that rank table went down to rank 20. Rank 20. You only get there in time. There are no restrictions on this. There's no time limit on getting there, but it starts with the decision of becoming a wealth engineer, making the sacrifice every week, like Sean does, to get to the next rank and then the next rank. We have another incentive that we started running at the end of October or the beginning of October last year. This is about to end. The incentive, the challenge ends this month. It's our Easter conference that's happening in exactly 1 month. We've got a number of families that have qualified already. Sean is right on the cusp of qualifying. He is going to be working extra hard in the next couple of weeks to make sure that his family qualify for this. Again, business class tickets down to Franschhoek in the Cape, a 5-star boutique hotel, all expenses paid trip for 4 days, wining and dining at Michelin star restaurants, a whole itinerary for the adults and the children. Just more benefit that you can derive out of DuePoint. We have a Wealth Quest every month. And this is very exciting because we've realized who our Wealth Quest qualifiers are for last month. So last month we challenged our wealth engineers to bring a guest to our annual conference and qualify those individuals in the same month. And we have 7 people that have qualified for that. So I think we made it too easy because so many qualified. And what does that mean? It means they've earned themselves an iPhone 5S each, as well as getting tickets to the 2018 annual conference. So, who are those individuals? We have Norma Shabangu,
Wow.
Durban, Zodwa Mabizela, Durban, Regina Jwara, also Durban, Lydia Shunkula, also Durban. Lydia's here? Where's Lydia? She's not here this evening. Okay, she's Gauteng. We don't want to steal any Gautengers away. They get very upset. But we've got 3 other wealth engineers that are with us this evening. I'm going to ask them to come up. Patrick Lutuli, Leon Machele, and Soso Nyandeni. Well done, sir. All the hard work has paid off.
Another one.
Another one? There you go, guys. And Soso, well earned. Eh? Finally. Soso's been putting in so much hard work. You're welcome to open the boxes. We had one person on the stage check that there was a real phone inside. Right? So congratulations to those people. This month's Wealth Quest, we've challenged our wealth engineers to have 20 Wealth Points program products placed in their first and second point. And if you do that in the month of March, we will give you a code to the entertainer, which has over 1.2 million rands worth of buy one, get one free vouchers, as well as 100 gigs of data. This is very much a data-driven business. We want to see you without expense by achieving this Wealth Quest. Just more benefit through the DuePoint system. Okay. Some people get a bit worrisome. They think we're spending too much money on our wealth engineers. This slide briefly explains our business model so that you don't have to come ask me afterwards. So this is an example of traditional business where they go out and do a lot of marketing and advertising. We all get exposed to thousands of brands and advertising every day. You will not see a DuePoint logo outside of this building. We don't do any marketing or any advertising. We rely on you, our wealth engineers, through word of mouth to tell people about the DuePoint opportunity. So instead of spending what the insurance industry spends, billions every year, instead we take that portion of our premium and we pay it to our wealth engineers in the form of returns and rewards. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. And on that note, we're going to speak a little bit about Regina. She's from KZN, she's from Durban. We've met with her a couple of times and we were given the opportunity to interview her down in Durban. So she's going to share her sentiments about the business and what impact it's had in her life. And you can look at those numbers again. Regina also joined in October, and she's made significant impact in the business and has had great success. Let's listen to her.
One day I was in the office with Pamela. When I come in the office, Pamela was busy talking to the phone, and her facial expression was amazing. She was laughing and she was so happy. His happiness, you can see that it was from deep down of his heart. So when I waited for him to finish talking, she was talking about business, so excited she was. So when she finished talking about this thing that she was talking about, so I asked him, what is it, Spa? Please tell me, I can see you are so happy about this. So Spa said, no, I can't tell you. I said, why? She said, I can't tell you, it's something that's amazing. I can't tell you, sponsor, because there's something new that we are doing together, so I can't confuse you. I said, no, I beg him. So tell me, Spa, I want to be happy like as you are. So he decided to tell me at last. He told me about this DuePoint opportunity. So I was so excited. He said, no, I'm rushing somewhere. I said, no, how much is the registration? She said, no, it's free. There is no registration fee. It's free. So I said, why not you register me? So she said, I'm in a hurry. So I said to him, you can't leave me like this. I'm so excited. I want to go out there and tell people about this. So she decided to register me. So I got registered, I got my number, I ran outside, and I met one lady called Lydian Kuzwayo. And I speak to Lydian Kuzwayo with the spirit that I got it from Spa. She was so excited, and I was so excited too. When I speak to Lillian, she's getting so excited, she ran to get another 3 ladies coming back with them. So I signed them, all of the 3, Lillian and her 3. I signed them down same day. So when I finished signing Lillian and her 3, so I carry on with that spirit. So I signed 2 ladies. That was Pizzo and Shabangu. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Pizzo and Shabangu. So when I spoke to them, they said, no, we can't do it now, but because they were doing something, they were busy with something else. But in December time, we're gonna start it nicely. But this time, we can't. So, okay, I carry on, and but what matters is when the week finishes, I've already signed 5 people. Yes, I've already signed people. From there, I get 225 and 75, 220. Yes, 220. It's 220. 275, my first payment was 275. And my second payment was 2,220, because the people I signed, they had the spirit I had. They ran and telling more people. Up to now, only 6 people are got in my first point. Only 4 people, but the people I have in my channel is 400 plus. You see? So this thing, if I can do it, you guys, I think anyone can do it. And the DuePoint came while I was in a bad time. No one was working in my house. My husband was not working, and I was not working. All of the family, nobody was, there was no income in my family. So DuePoint, what I can say with DuePoint, it changed my life. Because buying the bread for the kids was a challenge. My situation was very bad, but now I can go in the shop and make grocery for my kids. So that's what I like about DuePoint. If I can do DuePoint, anyone can do it. That's what I can say about it.
Such a heartwarming testimony and a reflection of what life is like in South Africa today for a lot of us, right? Battling just to buy bread. And this is a business opportunity for everybody to start making change. And you can see for Regina that change came quickly. Within a week, She became rank 1. She got that 220 plus the 55 Rand bonus at rank 1. And look where she is today. 6 months ago, not having any income coming into their household. Again, she made the decision for herself. Okay. Guys, our products. We have 3 products. You can look at taking out 1 product or all 3 products, completely up to you. They all have very different benefits that speak into our lives from a financial perspective. The first product is called Access Wealth. It is an investment product for $299 a month, of which 100 Rand will get invested into a tax-free investment fund that is housed with Sanlam. You've got full access to those funds, so you can draw them out within 72 hours. It's not a notice deposit or a fixed deposit. On top of that, we give you personal accident cover to the benefit of 110,000 Rand. So if you have this investment, something happens to you, get shot or killed in a car accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 110,000 Rand plus whatever's in that fund. Okay? This is the first product, the investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is called Wealth Guard. This is purely an insurance product, but this time you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover for only 274 Rand a month. The beauty of this product is that it's accessible to anyone over the age of 18. So regardless of what your age is, you can still take out this product for 274. The premium doesn't change. The benefit doesn't change. It remains 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Straightforward product. This is the insurance product, Wealth Guard. The third product is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club. This product allows us to save money on the money that we are spending every month anyway, right? How much money are we spending on groceries every month? This product is 274 Rand a month. 100 Rand is saved as wealth points into this Buyers Club. And through this product, you get access to the partners that we have listed there. So like I said, I made the point around groceries. There we have ShopriteCheckers Checkers as one of the partners. You can get 2.5% saved on your full trolley at ShopriteCheckers Checkers every time you go shop there. We've got Eagle Ford as a new partner. How much can you save at Eagle Ford? We've gone to these companies and negotiated discounts that you could never get on your own. Enjoy the discounts through this program. If you're looking for any immediate financial benefit, this is the product to have. Okay? So those are the 3 products. If you have any questions on the products, feel free to come speak to me or any of the other staff here this evening. We'll answer your questions. I remind you of the support that you get here at DuePoint. I told you on slide 3, our mandate is to support our wealth engineers. We want to see you successful because that's the only way DuePoint as a business can be successful. So don't join and disappear. Lean into the support. Everything that we've done here is to support you guys. You can use the auditorium for your own presentations. You can come in during the day, use the meeting rooms for meetings, use the breakout rooms. We've got free Wi-Fi for everybody. Free tea and coffee. You can drink it all. You can even set up meetings with myself and Brendan. We will sit down with you and your team and strategize your success here at DuePoint. The technology that we've implemented, the mobile app, the live streaming around the country is all to support our wealth engineers. Okay, so use that. And on that note, I have our last wealth engineer coming up to share his story with us. Rulof, please come up. There you go, sir. Now, I'll have you know that Rulof has been doing network marketing since I was in nappies. A very long time. Very experienced network marketer. He's seen it all. He's done it. He's had success in network marketing. Rulof was lucky enough to be introduced to what we were about to launch at DuePoint probably 3, 4 months, 5 months even before DuePoint was launched. He then came to our launch, and I'll ask him to share the rest of his story with us in his experience over the last year.
Evening, partners. Evening, guests. It's a blessing to be here tonight, and it's a blessing to have this opportunity just to share our story with you. Like Rob said, we were blessed that we met Brendan about 5 months before DuePoint was actually launched. He was just introduced to us as Brendan. Now, being the inquisitive person that I am, we went away and we Googled every Brendan in South Africa. And of course, we came up with, we didn't know who Brendan was. And then we attended the launch, which was in, I think, the 11th of February. And, wow, we walked into, we parked outside, and the first person that we saw was Dr. Brian Benfield, Brendan's dad. We've known him for years, very reputable person. And, then we only realized that Brendan was actually related. We saw the offices, we were blown away. Absolutely beautiful offices. And I mean, this is for you as a partner sitting here. I mean, it's free. Everything in here you can use and to the benefit of your business. And we sat through the whole launch. They promised us beautiful things, and they showed us all the beautiful stuff that you've seen tonight. And we left here, and they even gave us gifts. And we left here, and we were in the car, and I said to Marsha, listen, we've been in network marketing for a long, long time. And we've heard promises, and we've seen things happen within network marketing. Let's take a step back. See what they do. See whether they are good, whether they actually deliver on their promises. And I can tell you tonight that we were totally blown away. Everything that they promised, it was so much more that they actually gave us. And and then in September, I got a wake-up call. I had a look at my money, and it was growing. And I said, hey, what's happening here? I'm not even there, and my business is growing. So I said to Marsha, yes, maybe we should take some note and give it some attention. So we started working the business actually in September. And it's just such a pleasure. It's so beautiful to walk in here and see all the happy faces, see the people that are really growing their business, lives that are being changed on a daily basis. We are really, really blessed. So for new people sitting here tonight, if I can give you a tip, take it, run with it. Give it the time it deserves. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to push you a little more on that, being so experienced and having all these pearls of wisdom. We've got guests here, we've got new wealth engineers here. You engaging a lot more in the business, like you said, from September. Offer us a little more in advice with regards to people getting into network marketing for the first time, and particularly in DuePoint for the first time.
Yeah, well, look, I think the first thing that you need to do is when you've made that decision, this is what you want to do, is find out why you're doing it. You see, because if the how is big and strong, then, or if the why is big and strong, then the how becomes easy. I mean, you've heard Sean didn't have a car, etc., but he had the big, why am I doing this? Because then you're going to find the way to do it. You know, and those dreams, those things that you promised yourself in life, never give up on them. I mean, you're going to have people that are going to tell you that you're nuts. Trust me, that's going to happen. I mean, we had it in our own family. We try to avoid them, but they're so close to us, you know, that it's very difficult to avoid them. But I just say, if a person gives you advice, have a look at their financial status first before you take that advice. Because usually it comes from a person that has less than you. But they've got all this. And they always, you know, advice, it's those commodities, it's free, it's given by everybody. So don't take advice from people that have less than you. When you make that decision, you go and you run with it. We firmly believe that this business is all about finding giants, finding people that have a big, big, big why. Because those are the people. If you find the giants, they will find the giants. Don't find the pygmies. Don't find the midgets. Because then you're building a business of small people. You want big people. You want people that go out there that add the 1,000 to your business, the 2,000 to your business. So why is it that we go for the easy meat, the easy ones? This is an easy one. Find the people that are inquisitive to say, hey, but why does it work like that? Why is this like that? And how does that work? And they go through all the training. Because any business, you need knowledge. Yeah, we have the advantage that every bit of training that have been done up to date is available. You can go and view it. And they pay you to do that. They give you XPs. So find out how to do the business. Invest that time. And go and teach your people. Show them where the information is. Show them how to do the business. Take them by the hand, run with them. And you're going to build a huge, 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 huge business.
Great. Like we said at the annual conference, our tagline at the annual conference was, this is only the beginning.
Absolutely.
Perhaps you can share with us what your why is, because this is the beginning for you, and I suspect something is driving you other than
There's my why.
seeing my face every day.
There's my why.
She's the driver.
Absolutely. You see, if you look at us, we're not really the typical network marketing prospect. You see, when we were approached for network marketing, we were earning very good money. We were really making good money. And we've always made good money. We made sure of that. But we didn't have a life. That was our problem. We lived in a place called Enyon Club. We would get up 5 o'clock in the morning, leave home at 6, kids still in the bed. Okay? Then we go to work in Joburg, same company that your wife works for. Mm. Okay, and then we would leave the office at 5, 6, get home like 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Okay, the kids are at home. We don't know whether they got up that morning. We hope that they did. And we didn't have a life. I mean, our kids would go on holiday with other people because we had the money to pay for them to go on holiday. But we couldn't afford to take the time off work because we didn't earn residual income. It was an hour exchange for money each and every day. Okay, so we wanted our life back. We wanted to be able to get up in the morning and to say, this is my life. What am I going to do with this day today? Nobody's going to tell me what to do with that day. So our goal in this business, Marshall and myself, we're gypsies. Give us a plane ticket and a backpack. And we love to travel. And we've already been all over the world, but that's just part of it. So yes, we would like to do a lot of traveling. But the ultimate goal here is we want to make sure that when we get to that age where we can't work anymore, that our residual income from the business is such that we're going to have a great retirement until the day we die. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And that's it. That's the ultimate goal. We talk about financial freedom, but what it really is time freedom. My father is in his 70s. He actually turns 70 next month, and he's still forced to work. We don't want to be in that position. Financial freedom means time freedom, when you can get to that point. And it's not going to be in the first 5 years. Let me just warn you about that. You need to get past the 5 years. The 5 years of hard work, that's what the gift is. That's what the reward is after all the hard work, is to be in a position where you don't have to stress. Okay. Thank you, Rudolph. Our decision time slide, the orange one, the bright one. What is the decision? I hope you've made a decision when I get to this slide. I often tell the audience the decision is not whether you think the benefits of DuePoint are good enough for you to look at that business. I hope you've already made that decision. The decision I want you to make is, like Rudolph said, is your why big enough that you are willing to sacrifice time in your week going forward for this business opportunity called DuePoint? If you cannot make that decision, then this business won't work for you. It won't. You can get so excited about rank 9, so excited about the big numbers on the screen, but unless you are willing to make that conscious sacrifice, the price that you need to pay for this business, you'll never be successful. So if you are willing to join this business, we are here to support you. You have the support of everyone around you. For the first time, you're not in competition with this person sitting next to you. You're collaborating. We're collaborating with one another to be successful in this endeavor, to change South Africa, to change people's destinies. And maybe by next year, we can make it not 2% of people retiring financially independent, we can make it 3%. Maybe the year after that, 4%. And so we make joining very easy here at DuePoint. Like I said, we've got Wi-Fi. If you've got your own smartphone, you can jump onto our website. We've got iPads in the breakout room. Jump onto the website, click on the big blue apply button. You'll be a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. There's lots of time between now and midnight for you to get to rank 1. Lots of time. We have a YouTube channel, like Rudolph said. All the training we have ever done here, the interviews, the testimonies, all the special videos, the videos of our conference, everything is housed on the YouTube channel, free for you to watch and engage with. And we'll give you XP for watching the training. Jump onto YouTube, subscribe to our channel. It'll remind you every time we add a new video. We've got a mobile app that we've created for our wealth engineers. You can run your business from the palm of your hand. From the palm of your hand. I've got wealth engineers that say when they wake up at 3 in the morning, they check their app to see if anyone's joined their channel. right? You can become obsessive about it. Guys, I remind you that this opportunity is only an opportunity if you grasp it. I look at myself. I look at my last 20 years. You know, a couple of years ago, I got an invitation from the school that I went to saying, 20-year school reunion. I was depressed for a week. Where did my 20 years go? Where did they go? I remember sitting at school, in high school, thinking I was going to do this, I was going to be that, I was going to have that before I was 30. 20 years flew past. I invested 18 years in a business that created no residual value. It contributed nearly nothing to my retirement. 20 years of my life. I need to decide now, today, what are my next 20 years going to look like? No one is going to do it for you. Your mom's not going to do it for you. Your father's not going to do it for you. Your children won't do it for you. Your families will probably fight you. No one likes to see other people succeed. Have you noticed that? You have to do it for yourself. And we're here to support you. We want to see you become wealth engineers and start on this opportunity and give it the time it deserves. Do not come to me with expectations after 12 months. I want to see you setting your why. How big is that why? Where is the why? Is it in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time? You make that why bigger than what is realistic. Bigger than what's realistic. And we'll help you get there. Guys, I thank you for your time this evening. Have a wonderful evening. If you have any questions, we are out in the foyer to speak to you. We'll answer any questions afterwards. I'm going to let all of you retire into the foyer. Thank you for your time.